3, 2, 1. Aloha and welcome to Lucy's Paradise podcast. Today I have a very special guest. I have Kamaka Diaz. He is from the Keep It Aloha podcast. He grew up, a little bit about him, he grew up in Hilo, graduated 2016, joined the Peace Corps where you had some experience in Madagascar, right? A couple quotes from your book that I want to discuss because you have been podcasting for 4 years now. You have about 28.5 thousand subscribers, 1.5K videos. I don't know if you know any of this. You have,
I'll look at my analytics after.
You have over 6,388,000 views collectively on your YouTube, which is amazing. And you are, somebody that has inspired me to create my podcast. And some things from your book, I'm not done with it, like I said, but a couple things from your book I really enjoyed. The beginning, you talk about growing up in Hilo, speaking Hawaiian as your first language, and how aloha was never just a greeting or farewell. It was a way of being in the world, a philosophy that encompasses love, respect, compassion, and connection. When I named my podcast Keep It Aloha, I was making a commitment to embody these values, not just in my content, but in my entire approach to life.
Yeah, I live by those words. Try to at least.
Yeah, you live by those words. That I think is really awesome, really important, kind of what drew me to your podcast. And then talking about you being or wanting to be the Joe Rogan of Hawaii. I kind of wanted to talk about that as our first. What made you, what got you into thinking about that? Or
Yeah, well, I went to the Peace Corps after I graduated from UH Manoa. And then my 3 years over there really shaped me. And then when I came back from Madagascar in 2019, I had a bunch of student loans. So I did the Race 50K where I paid off $50,000 of student loans in 1 year.
Right.
From that point on, I started to document a lot of my life. And that's when I was really on social media. During that time, we started Hawaiʻiverse, which is this online platform that supports local businesses. So we would do these spotlight videos where we'd go into businesses, highlight their story, their products, and we did about 60 to 80 videos, all for free, just to help out the community.
Right.
And then in 2021, my team wanted to phase that out, and they told me to start a podcast. And the funny thing about me being a podcast host and doing this as my career is that I never wanted to. They forced me to do it, and we started with a little GoPro at Summit Media.
Right.
I got help maybe a year in with my producer Jordan wanting to come on and produce the podcast, and yeah, from then on it just took off, and I've been doing it. Yeah, October makes 4 years. End of October, basically November makes 4 years.
Okay,
yeah.
But no regrets.
No, none at all. I mean, I've been saying this a lot in the recent interviews, is that I'm living the Portuguese dream. I get paid to talk. I can't think of anything else that would be better.
You get paid to talk story.
Exactly. Just to hang out and meet cool people and have good conversation. I live a very blessed life.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I personally think that there is no Kamaka Diaz, right? So, you're gonna be just you of Hawaii. When I was reading that, I was like, Joe Rogan of Hawaii. I'm like, dude, he's better than Joe Rogan. What? But
I got more hair for sure.
Yeah, well, but yeah, he is. So that's an interesting goal, because when I was thinking about doing a podcast, and it took me 2 years of thought process before action. I was like, I kind of want to be the quote unquote Joe Rogan of Hawaii, kind of in a way, but obviously not Joe Rogan because he's a guy. And then when I was doing research, I realized, wait, there is a space for, which on social media, I believe there's a space for everybody. But I felt even more so because I cared about things going on in Hawaii and wanting to bring emphasis to things and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you for your inspiration.
Of course.
That's awesome. And then, do you want to talk about the Peace Corps a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you want to know? It was the most transformative time of my life. I mean, I taught English there for 2 years. Then I extended for 1 year, worked with a community health organization. And, 2 years was in the rural city, about 8,000 people. It's called Alatinai Bakaru. I got water from a well. I took bucket baths.
Wow.
I taught classes of up to 60 to 80 students at a time.
Wow.
Just really integrated into the community. They really made me feel at home. And it's one of those things, like I said in the beginning, that really shaped me. I wouldn't be who I am today without the Peace Corps. I mean, every step was foundational for me, but the
Right.
Peace Corps is what really gave me my confidence and
Okay.
helped me lose my fear gene, which is what I talk about in the book. There's a chapter about Madagascar.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, you get there.
Yeah, but I'll definitely get there. Interesting. So it really helped you with your confidence. Were you like not really good at speaking because you were teaching? But I know that's kind of different.
Yeah, it's more like the social aspect of life. And,
okay.
Being independent and professional at the same time, because we were there to help out a community, an underdeveloped community. And I'm a college student, just graduated, going to teach a class of students, you know, and working with teachers who are older than me and or have more professional experience, right? So it was a mix of that and learning how to navigate like the situations of living alone, not having many resources, having to travel on your own. I mean, I live 4 hours from the capital, and I had to bike everywhere. I had to go to the market. I had to go to a community that not only didn't speak English, but you're the only foreigner in this place, and you stand out. So
you have to adapt.
You have to adapt, and you have to integrate. And it took me about like 8 to 10 months to really feel comfortable living in my town. Like I would say that's when my house became a home. And that's when my community really felt like my family. So a lot of it is you really have to push yourself and make yourself uncomfortable, right? So you could grow, because I could just stay in my house and, go to class, come back and, do my own thing. But a big part was just trying to talk with people that, look different than you, and learn about their culture, learn about their language, and just try to gain perspective on life. And so a lot of it was, just being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and through all that uncomfortableness, I just learned so much about myself and others.
Well, yeah, it sounds good. Like you really immerse yourself in that experience, which is good. I think everybody should leave Hawaii or anywhere that they're from and go travel.
Yeah, I mean, you have experience with the military, and so you've probably gained similar perspectives that I have.
Yeah, I actually traveled before I joined the military. The military took me back here.
Oh, you were here the whole time?
I was here the whole time.
Oh, okay.
So I
didn't read your book yet.
I make the joke that I was deployed in Hawaii.
That's so funny.
And it's kind of my joke. But what I really loved about being here in the military was, obviously I had my family, which, a lot of soldiers don't. So they have a lot of that isolation, which I was lucky I didn't have. And being born and raised here, right, I'm already familiar. But what I felt really lucky about was that I got to actually do my job. I was a military police officer here in a community I cared about.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to be able, there was times I pulled over locals and they're like, I didn't realize I was on a military base, and I'm like, your car smells like weed. What am I going to do? So it's really, it's really interesting. And I think that, I gave people an interesting perspective of like how some military police officers can be, because I was born and raised in Hawaii. So I really would have liked to go elsewhere, but it wasn't in the cards for me. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get out.
Yeah.
So
did you use your VA loan and get a house?
I will soon.
Okay. You still have that even when you get out?
I do still have that. Nice. Yeah. But that is my plan.
Okay. Yeah. The VA loan is probably one of the best benefits of being in the military.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Not being deaf from things exploding next to me, but you've done a lot of really cool podcasts. You've had a lot of really amazing guests, especially recently, which I'm so excited to watch some of the ones that are about to come out. But one of the favorite ones I liked was the one with you and your sister.
Oh yeah, people comment on that one a lot.
Yeah. Any plans to have her on again? Because I think your guys having that brother-sister dynamic and that chemistry is really good, I think, for you.
Yeah, I mean, people like it. My sister and I, we always have this online banter and in-person banter, It's a love-hate kind of relationship. We love each other, obviously, but we do get it under each other's skin, as siblings do, right?
Right.
Her coming on, maybe in the future. I mean, maybe next year she'll have her own episode. So she's been on twice. Wow. She hosted I think it was like our 49th episode. I think it was 1 year in or something, and she interviewed me.
Nice.
And then she came on recently, a couple months ago, because I didn't have a guest. because somebody canceled, so I needed to fill that spot. And I live with her now. She lives at my place in town.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, hey, you want to come on the podcast? And that's when we had that episode, and people really loved it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she'll definitely be on. Maybe as like a guest, and I'm interviewing her. Maybe as something like the last time where we're just, talking back and forth, bantering back and forth. But yeah, she'll definitely be on.
That's good. Yeah, I think that was good for your podcast. I think.
Yeah, well, people see a different side of me.
Right.
As well.
Yes, totally.
Less professional for sure. But I was just telling her we should start doing brother sister golf content because people really love our interactions with each other. So, and she's getting into golf, I'm getting into golf. So
good.
I think we might be doing something like that. I don't know.
That would be cool. Yeah. My brother and I, he was on, a couple episodes of mine as well. But yes, in the first episode we did was in person, and I felt the same way. I was like, okay, he was just roasting me in the beginning, and I was like, what is going on?
That's what I did to my sister.
Yeah, I was trying to make it all professional, and then he was like, and I was like, wow, okay, this is where that's going. Got it. And I was like, he reminded me he was my brother.
It happens. Yeah.
But I'm excited about your book. Congratulations on that, by the way. Yeah, congratulations on that.
The audiobook should be out soon.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. Any more books coming or reflections about writing that?
I think I want to start doing one book every year.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be my goal because I have other ideas. I have a book that I need to write about my race to 50K, how I paid off my student loans.
That would be a good one.
And I have some poetry books I want to write. I wrote a lot of poetry growing up. I like rhyming. So that's probably the next book I'll write is either a poetry book or a book about the race to 50K.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. No, that's smart. That'd be good. Mm-hmm. And did you have any inspirations for starting a podcast?
I listened to podcasts. I started listening to them when I was in Peace Corps because there's a lot to do. So we would trade these hard drives with TV shows, movies, workout videos, podcasts, and so you just music as well, and you just listen to stuff, just try to pass the time.
Right.
So I got into a lot of podcasts. I listened to this one called Freakonomics a lot when I was in Peace Corps. Ologies. I started listening to Joe Rogan podcast, and then what else? And then fantasy footballers. Like I listen to a fantasy football podcast every single day. So now that football season is here, I listen to it every single day. I was listening to it on my way here.
Okay, I need to dive into that. Yeah, I've never thought about doing that one for fantasy. That's a good one. Do you want to talk about football a little bit? Because you asked me.
How are you a Saints fan? We're both Saints fan here. Who dat?
Yeah. I love that. We have that in common. When I found that out, I was like, wait.
Because it's random for a Hawaii person to be a Saints fan because it's always Cowboys, 49ers, Steelers, Dolphins now with Tua.
Yeah. Correct. And a lot of my family is 49ers fans, so they have, but a lot of them live in Vegas, so that also makes sense. I really tried hard to not be a bandwagoner. My dad was a diehard Cowboys fan. So even when I was a kid, I probably pretended I liked the Cowboys, but I didn't know anything about football, right? Yeah. As I got older, grew into my adulthood. My dad passed away about 5-6 years ago. Sorry. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to really study football, and I'm going to pick a different team. Because the only connection I really had to the Cowboys was my dad, but it wasn't really a team I chose.
Yeah.
So there were a couple things, and it's going to sound a little bit silly, but the number one thing I wanted was, I'm hoping as an added bonus, they have nice colors, right? Okay. But I studied a lot of the football teams, and one of my criterias was I couldn't bandwagon. So the teams that recently won Super Bowls, I kind of was like, I'm going to look at those last. And then I looked at the players. So Reggie Bush was always a player I really liked for a long time, years ago. And then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was on the Saints. So then in my studying, I kept coming back to the Saints. I think because they are, and I can only speak for the last few years, I think they have a good team, but they haven't really got in the pocket yet with their playing together.
What year did you start watching and became a Saints fan?
5 years ago now.
5 years ago. So
5 or 6 years ago.
2020, around 2020, around COVID.
No, it would have been. Oh yeah, I guess so.
Over right during the COVID years, right when Drew Brees retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you missed the glory days.
I missed the glory days, kind of as a fan, but I was pretty. I didn't really have a team, so I was still oh my god, seeing which guys are kind of making noise. I remember watching a Super Bowl with and I can't ever be a Patriots fan, so that one was out the window.
Okay.
But my mom's a huge Patriots fan, so she just doesn't know shit about football. Though. But I'm like, Mom,
she liked Tom Brady.
Yes,
that's what it was.
yes. And I was like, oh my God, Mom. So yeah, I wanted to study it, and I was like, you know what? There's so many players consistently that I like that keep falling on the Saints. So, and then, New Orleans, that's a bonus. Unfortunately, I was supposed to be out there for the game this weekend with 49ers. What? Yeah. But I've been sick on and off the last month.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But I was like, you know what? But my goal is to go this year.
Okay.
Or at least next year to one of the home games. Because I feel like that's really important.
Yeah, I'm going to my first Saints game at the Rams Stadium in November.
Ooh, okay.
Because my parents have a friend that they're going, so they invited me. One of my dreams was to go to the Superdome and watch Drew Brees play, but when I came back from Peace Corps, it was COVID year and we couldn't, and then he retired. So yeah, I would still love to go over there. I'm going there next year for my 10-year Peace Corps reunion.
Oh wow!
But it's not going to be a time where there's football.
Yeah. So how do you think about how they're? Well,
we're terrible. We're terrible. Our quarterback situation is terrible. I don't like any of the draft picks that we've been using. I'm just hoping we suck and then we get like the number 1 overall pick and we can grab somebody good. Maybe Arch Manning. I don't know if he'll be ready to go to the NFL by next year. But it would be cool to have him go to the Saints because his grandpa played for the Saints. It'd be a cool storyline.
Yeah, that is a cool storyline. That's interesting. That's why you're like, I just hope we just like. That's so funny.
There's no hope. We don't have a good quarterback.
No, we don't. Yeah. I do like AK though.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's
just
the best
it
player.
Sucks that he's like carries the team every year, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah, I got him in one of my fantasy football leagues. I try not to get any Saints because we're not that great, but yeah, I miss the Drew Brees, Reggie Bush era. That was just the best time to be a Saints fan.
Yeah. I think AK is great, and I just hope. Yeah, I hope there's some years soon that we can get it together.
Yeah, I think we're using up his good years. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Okay, let's go here. Who has been your dream guest so far? You think somebody that was like maybe on your wish list that you're like, oh gosh.
I mean, let me see. Like, there's been big people that I've gotten, but it wasn't like anybody that I like. Oh, it would be so cool to talk to them. Really? I gotta say BJ Penn. He was really cool. Just, he's got weird things going on now, but as a Hilo boy and seeing him go to the highest level of his career and
that's a cool guest
in his profession, he was so inspirational. I remember gathering around watching BJ Penn fights and like how we do Max Holloway fights these days, right? And it was just so cool to see him come out to Hawaiʻi 78 to represent a small town of Hilo. So, when I got a chance to interview him, that was super cool. Because he was just one of my idols growing up. A couple other ones. People always ask me this, and I never have a good answer. I got to start writing something
I think it's good, though, because, I think somebody asked me that, too, and I was like, oh, God, that's so hard. Because you also almost feel like you're comparing a little bit, and I will say, like, for Hawaii, you were definitely my favorite to try to have on. So today, for me, this is a big episode because I'm stoked to have you. But I think it's a good thing that you can't think of it.
It's like choosing your favorite child.
Yeah. Hopefully that's me.
Yeah.
Are you the favorite?
I'm obviously the golden child of my family. That's obvious. But I make it easy. It's not really a choice. But for this, I would have to choose. But there's a lot of people who I've had on that I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm friends with them, and I see them in public and I say hi and I have their number, and it's crazy, this world that we live in. Nicole Scherzinger is a guest that I'd love to have on, and that will probably happen at some point.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good. I'm excited for that for you. Yeah. What do you think in terms of Hawaii? What do you think is misunderstood about Hawaii or local people that you might want to clear up or?
Well, I think most people see the tourism and like the touristy stuff, the hula skirts, the vacations, Waikiki, the luau's, stuff like that. But one of my goals, and something that I have been seeing on social media and just with different organizations trying to promote it in an authentic Hawaii. Not just the touristy stuff. So I just want people to know that, there are people that are living here. We have a rich culture.
There's more to Hawaii.
Yeah, if you come here, you can do the touristy stuff. That's no problem. Go snorkeling, go surfing, and all that. But there is so much more than that.
Yeah.
And
totally.
Once you dive deep and you go under the iceberg, you'll see the sad history. You'll see the amazing resiliency that we've had. You see the awesome language and traditions that we have. And if you're able to witness all of it, not just see what's at the tip of the iceberg, I think you have an even deeper love for Hawaii.
Right. I love Hawaii. Not only just being born and raised here. I was very upset as a child when I found out I wasn't Hawaiian. I didn't understand why, and I was like, "But mom," and she was like, "I have to explain this. This is crazy." And I was so upset. And I remember my auntie pulled me aside and she explained what aloha was, and I was like, "Oh." And then she was like, "You have more aloha than some Hawaiians," and I was like, "Oh," and she's like, "That is the closest thing you can have." She said that can be better than Hawaiian blood. And I was like, oh, dang. So I don't know, if people agree with that or not, but that helped me as a child understand, wait, I might not be Hawaiian blood, but I can represent Hawaii with how I am. And so that's why I think your theme of the, not only, if can type stuff, but your thing about keeping it aloha, I just love, because I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a little bit like how I am too. So I feel like that's also, I think, another thing we have in common besides the
yeah. So I mean, not everybody can be Hawaiian by blood, but everybody can keep it aloha.
Right.
Keeping it aloha. Aloha is a universal thing. It's not even, we call it aloha here, and it's universal in a lot of places. They just call it something different, right?
Right.
So I just feel like aloha is the greatest thing that somebody can have.
Yeah.
And it's the most positive. It's it's
not always easy in traffic.
It's not always easy. It's keeping it aloha isn't always easy.
Yeah.
But aloha is just the purest thing anybody can have, I believe.
Yeah, I like that. I wanted to ask you about Chief of War and your thoughts on the episodes and how you're enjoying it. I also wanted to ask, is it hard for you to watch the Hawaiians fighting each other? Because I was crying. It just kind of breaks my heart.
Yeah, I already saw the whole season. I did some promo stuff with Apple TV, so they sent me the whole season before it came out. So I was really lucky to be able to see the whole thing, and I thought it was really cool. I didn't really know the history like that.
Oh, really?
I probably learned it in school growing up, but as a kid, I didn't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
I cared about sports and playing video games and hanging with my friends. But to see it and to see how gnarly we were. I think that I'm more curious to see what other people are gonna think, because I know that it's different seeing it on TV. But
I see what you're saying, the reaction.
Yeah, because just what we were talking about, how people see Hawaii as this touristy place. When they're seeing this, they're like, "Whoa, Hawaiians were gnarly. They killed each other. They killed children. They killed innocent people. They eventually use guns to help unite the islands and stuff." So I just think people are getting a great history lesson on Hawaii, and they're seeing a different side of us. Whether that may be pretty gnarly, I think there's some beautiful things that are being shown, especially with our traditions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I love that we have our language on mainstream media.
Yeah.
Speaking Hawaiian is something that's really big in my life, and something I do with my family, mainly my dad. So I'm stoked that people get to see that side of Hawaii.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you gave a little bit of your review on it. My roommate and I will watch it together, and I feel like half the time I'm educating him on the history, because he's like, "Wait, what?" And then. But he knows more about the show, but I know more about the history. So then we're going back and forth, and
that's good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's kind of our bonding show right now, which is cool. And but we call it Cheeks of War. We don't call it
Jason Momoa's Cheeks of War.
Yeah, so he'll text me, "You want to watch Cheeks?" And I'm like, yeah.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah. So we've been having fun with it. There was a couple of those scenes where the Hawaiians actually are, I don't want to give it away, but they're fighting each other. It kind of made me a little sad. I was like, why am I crying right now?
Yeah, I mean, because that's our people.
It's
whether
heavy,
you're Hawaiian or not, that is our history of how this place that we all live in and we love. That's how it came to be.
Yeah.
And I think this season finale is coming out soon. So people are, I thought the finale is really cool. A lot of action.
Good. I'm excited. So outside of podcasting, what keeps you motivated to be creative day to day?
I mean, yeah, one of my motivations is just to, make my family proud, create a life where I can provide for them. And, I don't have kids, but I have, a lot of siblings, I have step parents, I have, extended family. So I just want to make them proud. I want to represent my ohana very well. And I want to be able to give back to them because they gave me so much growing up. And I just feel like, when I'm at a place where I can take care of them, that's when I will feel like I've made it and I'm successful. So that's the ultimate goal, and that's what motivates me. And in terms of creativity, I just like everything motivates me, right? It's like conversations, watching people, watching TV, just living, going through life. I think everything gives me inspiration, whether that's to make something, to watch something, to just create. I feel like there's so much inspiration around us, and we just have to look for that. But yeah, I would say, and just in terms of motivation, it's never like material things. It's never money.
Right.
It's none of that. It's just I just want to do everything for my community, my family, and my friends.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And then you said earlier you got into golf. You're getting into golf.
Yeah. So
for the first time
ever. I'm probably like the last of my friend group to get into golf. I had knee surgery and shoulder surgery last year, so I'm still recovering from that. I'm finally at a place where I can be more active. So
right.
I went golfing twice. I still haven't done a full round, so I think maybe today I'll do my first full round. I started taking lessons. Nice. So hopefully that helps today. So we'll see how it goes. But
you're enjoying it.
It's fun. Yeah, it's nice to be a beginner at our age.
Oh yeah.
In your 30s, where you've kind of already established the things that you like, the things you don't like. So and I've played sports my whole life, and I'm good at things. And to be a beginner and to have to go through the sucking and to not be able to do something well, I think it's humbling, and it also that's motivating, and it's challenging for me to try to get better at something, because everything that I do, even podcasting, I'm constantly trying to get better. But this is like I'm so fresh at this,
right.
Where the wins are a lot more rewarding because you went from not being able to do something at all to being able to hit it a little bit, to being able to putt it, to being able to get a good drive. So I think. Yeah, that's the most exciting thing for me is that having that beginner's mindset.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I made the mistake of doing jiu-jitsu. Sucking at that is not fun.
Oh,
it's just getting beat up.
That can actually physically hurt.
Yeah.
I would love to do something like that, but I don't know if my body is ready for that. But maybe one day.
Yeah, it's honestly it's a lot on my body.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that do it, and they also have aches and pains.
Always, yeah. Mm-hmm. But the golf, I grew up. My dad taught me how to play golf.
Oh, really?
So that was kind of our little bonding thing,
cool.
Was being able to drive together.
Mm-hmm.
So I've golfed my whole life, and
are you good?
I tell people that. Well, I'm pretty talented at golf.
What? I'm still learning like what are good numbers, but what do you shoot? Like what?
I honestly I don't even know currently because I haven't gone like too recently. But when I was in California last year. And I have a professional golf coach, and I was showing him, like, asking for tips. Mm-hmm. He had no notes, and he walked away. And I was like, what the heck? So I assume I'm still as good as I was. But when I lived in California, after work, I would just go hit ball. It was kind of my stress reliever.
Totally.
And then I slowly just built up each thing. But it's kind of like riding a bike. Like, if you haven't done it, you have to, like, do it again and be like, oh, yeah, okay, wait, I know how to do
it's
this.
Still there. You just gotta
it's still there. But
it.
So I could probably play people right now, and they would be shocked at how surprisingly good I was. But I wouldn't get a hole in one or anything. That's crazy.
Well,
I'm not Tiger Woods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not like Tiger Woods, but once I'm warmed up, I'm dangerous. You don't want to be in the.
Okay, well, let's not play together then.
But it's just fun.
Yeah.
I feel like my nephew is very into baseball here and sports, and I would take him kind of like my dad and take him to go do golf because. Number one, kind of the same thing. I wanted him to have something, but also something that was more stress relieving than he has so much pressure to do good in baseball. I was like, well, why don't you just do a sport where we're just having fun, where it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you suck, we can
Mhm.
laugh at each other, we can take videos, and then I can give you some notes if you want to get better, but we don't have to stress about the sport.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of what I use golf with my nephew. And so when we were going, for him it was just fun, and he
Yeah.
got good, surprisingly, you know.
That's how I
He's
feel now,
coachable.
because I'm obviously gonna be the worst out of everybody I go with. So to me, I feel like there's no competition there, where I'm just like,
You just compete with
I feel
yourself.
bad if I have a terrible shot. I'm just like, well, obviously, yeah, I'm just starting, you know.
Yeah. Low stakes is the best stakes.
Exactly, no
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah. I wonder if you would like frisbee golf.
I've tried that for Alfie.
Yeah.
My friends lived in Colorado
Oh.
for a while in
So you
college,
tried
so I
it.
went over there and we did.
That's
some
pretty
golf.
fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to try to get into it here because
Do they have areas where you can do that?
yeah, apparently
okay.
they do.
Nice.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, but my friends were like, "Oh yeah," and they showed me this app, and I was like, "You guys are locked into this sport."
Yeah, people love that. There's also soccer golf as well, where you basically kick it to every,
Oh, I
and
didn't know
stuff.
about that.
There's all kind of sports.
Yeah, awesome. Do you have anything for me before we end?
No, I appreciate you inviting me, and I appreciate the support and love that you always give me, and to be able to be here with you and finally meet you is really awesome. A great way to start my day.
Awesome.
And just keep going. I mean, like we're talking off the podcast, there's a space for you, and there's a space for a lot of people, a lot of creatives here in Hawaii. There's, never a time where it should ever feel like you're competing with other people. I always believe community over competition, and if we continue to just help each other and support each other, all ships will rise with the tide. And I feel like we can all be successful. Nobody's success is taken away from your success. I always believe in this, like, helping out others, and giving without expectation of receiving. And I feel like the more you give, the more you get. So yeah, just keep giving, keep spreading aloha. One of my new taglines, it's on my bookmark. It's live aloha, give aloha, keep it aloha.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, you guys, you heard it here first. I'm excited to be able to interview Kamaka today. So we had a good one. Thank you so much. And I will link all of his stuff in the descriptions below. You guys obviously, I'm sure, have seen his stuff everywhere, but now you can see it on mine. Super excited to be able to post this soon. But yeah, you guys heard it here. Keep it aloha, guys. And thank you so much for watching Lucy's Paradise Podcast. Aloha.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
When does this come out?